everyone. Welcome to my live. I am hopefully everyone got my last minute notification that I'm actually going live early, which is unusual to say I'm going live early. It's usually that I am going to be late, but I made the executive decision to go live early because the weather is absolutely feral. It's not usually this bad, but we have got some crazy weather. And I would not be surprised if the power goes out. So I thought I might jump on a little bit earlier in case the power does go out. I can get it over and done with and still craft with you guys. So that's why I am on a bit early, because I just thought, oh, this weather's looking a bit much. And we had 5 hours without power the other night. So, and Tas Networks, which is our power people, have already warned that there will be power outages. So I thought, I still want to craft with you all. So that is why I'm popping on a little bit earlier, because I thought I'm just going to bite the bullet here and get on. I'm just fixing up. I'm doing last minute because I wasn't prepared to go live this early. So I haven't pulled out the ink colours or anything like that, but I'm sure we can wing it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Hello, Renee. Hey, Sue. Hey, Leanne. Okay. So I was just going to wait a couple minutes and pull out my inks while everyone gets a notification that I'm live, because I'm normally live at 7 and it's only 6:20. So it's a bit unusual. It's very dark and gloomy in here, but we'll make it work. Okay, so I'm going to pull out. I realised when I was just about to come live too, the card I'm making tomorrow is actually Father's Day. So this card would actually be ideal if you had a last minute Father's Day card to make. And I didn't think of that until just before I went live. So I actually made this project for a blog hop this week with the Be Inspired team. So you may have actually seen the project on my blog already. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Anita. And it is this one here. The theme was taking flight. So some of the team did butterflies and birds. I decided to actually use that as an excuse to use this fun stamp set called Adventurous Sky. I do have it right here. This is the stamp set. So it's got some cute like vintage planes on there and some really cute sentiments. So there is a happiest Father's Day on there. I would make one for my dad, but he's not really into planes. He's more of a fishing dude. So this card would be better for probably my father-in-law. He loves planes. He actually loves planes a lot. But I think I already made him a card. Anyway, this one is the Take to the Sky suite. So it has the Adventurous Sky bundle and there's a suite. So there's some paper and some, oh goodness. Okay. Let's just see. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm just going to text because I know that person will keep ringing. So just on a live video. Can't talk. Okay, so hopefully that's back okay. Anyway, this is the suite, really cute, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I'm doing some watercolouring, which I also combined it with the Watercolour World stamp, because I hadn't actually really used this stamp. I don't know if I've used it at all, to be honest. So when I thought of the theme taking flight and the plane and all of that, hey Sarah, I thought of the plane flying over the world map. I thought it would be cute, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with where I live, I'm this tiny little dot, that tiny little island on the bottom of Australia. And trust me, we have a big storm front coming over the top at the moment. It is horrendous. So, yeah, I thought that would be cute. Would make a cute Father's Day card. And I actually went to town doing blend. I've done everything on this card. So there's blends, there's watercolour, there's the whole lot. Now, I didn't wipe out Tasmania. It's still there but this is a very abstract world map. So unless you knew it was, like you can see New Zealand and Australia, but a lot of water over the top, so it's very abstract. Anyway, so really cute for Father's Day tomorrow. It's also got some matching dies that make adorable planes, by the way. really, really cute. But I've actually used a sentiment for the stamp, for the card from this one. So I wanted to put just a note to lift you up, which I actually was considering doing the hot air balloons for taking flight, but I chose to do the planes instead. Anyway, I still haven't made my dad a Father's Day card. I've had a crazy week. So my dad is actually in hospital. He had a small stroke. So he's actually in the city in hospital at the moment, but he's all good. Anyway, okay, let's get started. I'm going to pull out the ink colours because I reckon everyone's got a notification that I'm live now. I'm a bit out of sorts because I normally would have everything out and ready, but I decided to change the time I was going live. So we're just going to make it work. Okie doke. So I'm going to get started and show you what I'm making. If you're new, oh, thanks, Sue. It was a little bit scary. He had, it is a type of stroke, but he had basically the brain condition that we have. One of them bled, so it causes a bleed in the brain. So it's a bit scary. He's got some issues, but he will be fine. Okay, so I've got a blueberry bushel card base, and I'm just going to, this is a landscape card. I'm just going to score that in half. Now I have pulled in, because we're going to be doing watercolour, I've pulled in some Fluid 100 watercolour paper. That is the paper that we have at Stampin' Up. Really good quality watercolour paper. So this is the cotton paper. It can take on all that water that we're going to be using. So I've got a layer of that as well as a layer of Pool Party, so a slightly larger layer of Pool Party for that to go on top. And for the inside, I've got just normal basic white and some Pool Party for the inside. And I've just got a scrap of Fluid 100, which will be for the sentiment. So not many pieces that you need. It's more the technique for this card. So I'm actually not doing a fun fold for once. Hey, Brenton. Yeah, no fun fold tonight. It's just techniques, which was a bit fun to change it up. So what we're going to do first is the watercolor bit, because that's the bit that's going to take a while to dry. So I'm going to grab my stamp. So this is one of our big background stamps, although it's not all that big really. But for this technique, you could do it with a block if you don't have one, but I actually found it easiest to do it with a stamp positioning tool. And this is going to reflect my light, so I do apologise. But what I'm going to do, I've got a sticky mat. This is a waffle flower grip mat, I believe it's called. And it's basically a huge bit of photopolymer. And what it does is means I don't have to use magnets. That is actually going to stay. So it's quite handy for that, for techniques like this, because I don't want to get magnets in the way. Now I'm going to, if you want to find these supplies, if you go onto kaylarenee.com, there is a section up the top that says Kayla's Crafty Favorites, and that is where you'll find things like this that aren't available that aren't Stampin' Up products. So I generally have them listed on my website, and then they'll be at the top. So anyway, I'm going to pop this on to my bit of watercolor paper, and I'm roughly just placing it there. I definitely want Australia and Tasmania in there, maybe move it over a little bit, and then I'm just going to pick that up with my stamp positioning tool. And now this is the fun bit. What I suggest you have is a stamping spritzer. That's what I'm going to use. And yeah, I know, Megan, it's because the weather's crazy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose power, so I decided to come on early. We had no power for 5 hours yesterday, the day before. So I decided just to come on early. The thunder and the wind woke me up at 3 a.m. It was so bad. Okay, so I'm going to use a few colours. I've pulled out Pool Party, Summer Splash, and Blueberry Bushel. I, in a rush, can't remember which colours I used, but I'm going to go with it because I'm pretty sure that looks about right. Okay, so I'm going to start with my lightest colour. I'm going to go with some Pool Party. I saw, who was it? Oh gosh, one of the stamp girls up your way, she posted a picture in her car. It was like 39 degrees. I was like, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of Pool Party onto my stamp, and then I'm going to go in. You can do all the colours at once, but generally you'll have to go back. So this is like what's that? Good way to get ink on your fingers. I'm just going to add a little bit of ink into a few places. And then you can actually go in with your darker colours. This is the Blueberry Bushel. and I'm not adding as much of the blueberry bushel. I'm just adding it in a few places. Now, this is going to take a few applications generally, and sometimes it's a total fail. Yes, Vicky, that's how it was. Now, I'm going to go, this is probably about 20 centimetres away from the stamp, and I'm just going to give it a light mist. Now, also, I forgot, I'm going to give my paper a light mist as well, so on there. I love this grip mat because you can get it wet, just wipes off. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that down. I'm going to grab my little hey, Kerry. I'm just going to press over with my little tool and open it up. Look how pretty that is. I love the watercolour look. In fact, that turned out pretty good first go. But the original, this one here is very abstract, so I've got a lot going on there, but I really like how that turned out. Now, I'm going to grab in my chamois and just clean off my stamp, because you don't want to apply light inks over the top of ones that are dark on there. Now, if you're not happy and you want some different colours in different areas, I was hoping it wouldn't do this because I can't show you what to do if it doesn't turn out the way you want it. Although I can. Let's just do a little bit. Another thing, if you don't want to do ink pad to the stamp, you can grab a blending brush, grab a bit of that ink and dab it onto the stamp. So if you don't want as much ink, you want to be a little bit more, have it a little bit, I don't even know the words, just not go to town with it. Then I'm going to give this a light mist. Now I'm showing you techniques. I'm probably going to go over the top with it. Okay, so let's just give that a light press, lift up. So it's going to add a little bit more of that colour to the back there. The other way you can do this, I'll just wipe this off again, is grab our Stampin' Wrap markers. So these are the same makeup as our classic inks. They're water-based ink basically in the marker. You can even refill them with the refills. So the cool thing about the markers is because they're the same as our ink pads, you can actually draw straight onto that stamp. Give that a mist again, and that will do the same thing. So you can alter the way you apply this ink. I actually think I'm going to leave it now, but that is how I got the watercolour look. So I need to just wipe this off. The other thing you can do is once you've stamped it, if you want it to sort of bleed a little bit, you can spray gently onto the finished stamped image. And what that will do is add some extra water, which is going to make that bleed a little bit. If you can see what that's doing on the outside there. Hey, Elaine, how are you? So I'm going to be... So what that will do is start that moving around. Now, I don't want it to do it too much. I'm just going to take a little bit of that water off because I still want to maintain the integrity of that image. So very pretty. Hey, Maswari, I'm early. The weather's crazy. So I popped on before we lose power if we do. Thought I don't want to reschedule my life, so I'm going to trick them. Okay. So now I wanted to do that bit first because that will take a minute to dry. The other thing you can do is also grab your markers. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of paper behind there, and you can spritz with this brush end while it's still wet. And what that will do is it'll make it spread a little bit because it's going onto a wet background. So I added a little bit of blueberry bushel, and then on the original, I also added, just for something fun, I added a tiny bit of lemon lime twist. Because the reason I chose these colours is because I thought of the globe and about how we naturally see the globe as being blue and green with the water and the earth. Okay, so that bit's done. I'm just going to set that to the side to dry. Now I'm going to bring in these two planes. So I actually stamped, what's upside down? Oh, I actually stamped the medium size one, the large one. This one has the tiny one, but I thought I'll just go with it. I didn't realise that I stamped the wrong ones. Now, I am no blends expert. I think I must be feeling sick because last week I did blends as well. I never usually do blends live. Good morning, Ali. It's nighttime here, but good morning. Yes, so I never usually do blends live because I don't know, it gives me anxiety. So I've chosen to go with some I've got light lemon lolly, dark lemon lolly, light peach pie, and dark pumpkin pie. So I thought I'd give these colour combinations a go. Now, I must just be wanting to challenge myself because, yes, blends are not something that, I love playing with colour. It's just not something I'm particularly fabulous at. Okay. So I'm just giving it an all-over application of the lemon lolly. And now I think I might actually I'll do both wings of the plane. I think I'm weird because I love the smell of stamping blends, which probably sounds really weird, but I was that kid at school that loved the smell of Tipp-Ex as well. So, or Clag. Okay. Now I've added a little bit of the light lemon lolly, and now I'm going to go in with my dark lemon lolly and sort of add a little bit of darker colour. Now, the stamped image is really cool because it has lines where it would be darker. So the Stampin' Up artists have kind of done some of the work for you by sort of indicating where you'd want to apply some darker colour. I'm just going along the edge and colouring in a few of those spots that I think I want a little bit of darker colour. And then I'm going to come in with some light peach pie. Now, I'm not shutting up my markers because I'm using them again, so I'm just going to keep those open. I've honestly pre-boiled the kettle. I cooked dinner really early so that in case the power went out, I already had dinner cooked. Charged up everything, like I'm totally prepared. I don't actually mind if the power goes out, really. It's my son and my partner that heavily rely on electronics, I think. Okay, so I've got that light peach pie, and now I'm going to go in with the dark pumpkin pie. Now, this is the quite I can't talk. This colour is quite dark, so I'm not adding much of this at all. I'm just using it as a highlight. So know that I want some in here. Maybe just a tiny bit there. Have to let me know if you love colouring with stamping blends. I do love it. It intimidates me sometimes. Okay, so I think that'll do for those. And then I'm going to come back with my lightest colour, which is the light lemon lolly. And I'm going to blend out this colour. So I might switch to the bullet tip end. So I've got so much crafty stuff on my desk that I'm doing at the moment. There's lots of exciting things coming to the Stamping Lounge that I'm working on at the moment. I'm very, very excited. We've got lots of things happening. We haven't even shared some of it with the current members yet, but they're going to be excited. I've been busily working away. We're just working on some back-end tech stuff at the moment because we changed our checkout cart for products rather than subscriptions. So subscriptions are still the same, but we're just finalising that before we announce something that you can purchase, even if you're not a member. So we're excited. Love colouring with blends, but I tend to only use lighter shades. Oh yeah, okay. See, that's the thing. I always go for the bold, dark ones that are the most likely to, it's going to be really obvious if I muck it up. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the other bits of the plane. I love bold, dark colours. I'm doing a card at the moment that is I just wanted to try a different colour combo. So I went with, I can't remember what I did this with the plain in. I'll show you in just a sec. So I actually have these colour, what are they called? Colour cubes. So this was the colour combo I chose to work with today. So these are not Stampin' Up colours. It's just a fun way to try something new, and you can kind of coordinate them to the closest Stampin' Up colour. So what did I actually went, it's a bit random, but Summer Splash, Grey Granite, Pretty Pink, I think I went for one of these, Floaty Flamingo and Calypso Coral. So that was kind of just a way to combine colours. It sparked that inspiration for me. So I was playing with that just before and having a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going back in to add my darker colour to this one. I love to sit and watch people colour. I just find that really quite intriguing as well. And then I rush off and I don't show people when I colour. I think it looks boring. Oh, I think that people will get bored, so I don't do it. Okay, so I'm going in and adding my peach pie to a few of these areas. Because I'm live, I'm not going to sit here and be too particular. I'm just being quite quick with it as well. You could let this dry, like the colours absorb a little bit in between. Okay. Right. A little bit more colour there. Yes, I didn't go visit my dad today in the city. It's quite a drive away where he is. But I will see him this week. I was feeling bad about not going to see, but I had a lot on, and Elijah's been a bit full on. He had his pediatric neurologist appointment this week because Elijah actually has the same, well, Elijah and I have the same condition as my dad. And that's why what my dad, this bleed he had, the stroke, is actually a symptom of the condition we have. And it's rather sucky, but it is what it is. Okay, blend that out. Pretty. Okay, now I want to get the dark daffodil. Oh, thank you, Marnie. You're up in Queensland, aren't you? You guys are all getting the warm weather. It's very cold down here at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to grab some smoky slate, I think, just for these wheels down the bottom. The dark smoky as well. And then just for a light touch, I'm going to add a little bit, like a tiny bit of light pool party to wear these, I don't know what you call these, whizzy bits. I don't know what they're called. They're on the propeller. So I'm just going to add a little bit there, and then I'm going to blend it out with the, yeah, Harvey Bay, I thought you were up there. So you'd be getting it nice warm weather. Okay, so I'm just blending that out a little bit with the colour lifter. Now with the colour lifter, I'm also going to go in and just sort of scribble on, it's like, what is that sniffing? It's Thor at the door. That rhymes, Thor at the door. He's sniffing at the door, but I've got the door closed. Okay, so I just want that colour lifter to lift some of that colour and add a little bit of a highlight there. Okay, so that is the big plane done. Now I will colour the smaller plane, which is on my desk somewhere. Oh, it's hidden behind the colour card. Okay, I need a sip of coffee. You should hear the wind. I wonder if you guys can hear it, honestly. I told Elijah to be quiet because he has moved his computer, much to my disgust, into his bedroom, and his bedroom is actually just the closest room to the craft room. So I said, you need to be quiet, because the other day, who was it? I think I might have been on Zoom with Mashwari and Rochelle, and they could hear him. I was like, he was at the other end of the house then. It's like, he is so loud. Boys. So I'm going live, and I'm going to be very disappointed if I can hear you yelling on your game. Okay, so I'm adding my light lemon lolly to this plane. And then I will go with my darker lemon lolly. Yes, the wind feels like it's going to break the windows. Crazy. Makes me sad though when the weather's like this and I look and the local community notice board, all I see is people's dogs that are missing or people posting dogs that have got out. Oh, I don't. So I've got, if you follow my page, you'll know that I've got 2 golden retrievers. I let them out to go to the toilet before and they thought it was heaven. They were running around in the mud and it's like, I really don't have time to shower you guys. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with my light. Hello, Narelle. Your, what is it called? A little Hocus Pocus card was so good, the cards. I have resisted that bundle for so long and it's in my cart, okay? I just, it's so cute. I don't really do Halloween, but that bundle is just adorable. Okay. Is it crazy weather in Victoria? Yes. Oh, the dogs, honestly, they really get their golden retriever on in like as soon as it's dirty outside, they love it. Okay. Just going to add my little bit of pumpkin pie. I only want a little bit. That should do. And then I'll come back to the light lemon lolly and I'm just going to blend that out. So I don't know if it's only Australia that has Father's Day tomorrow. I'm not sure because I think the UK has theirs at a different time. I'm not sure, but yes, I feel rather bad that I'm not going to see my dad for Father's Day because he's in hospital, but I will catch up with him. Okay. Right, so that's pretty good. Then I'm going to add my, hello Carol. I'm going to add my little bit of smoky slate for my wheels. Oopsie. And then a little bit of darker. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of dark daffodil. And add my, what do we say, whizzy bits. Some light pool party. And then I'm just going to blend that out a little bit with my colour lifter. And I'm going to add just a little bit of highlight with that colour lifter. I love my colour lifter. I use it all the time. Okay. Now I'll close up all these blends. I'm pretty sure that I don't need them again, so I'm going to close them all up. Chuck them over to the side. Now I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to the propellers because I think, well, everything needs Wink, but I'm just going to add it to these front bits and add a bit of sparkle. Okay, so that's that bit done. We've got our planes and we've got our background, which I still a bit damp, so I'll still leave that for a little bit. We can move on and do a couple other pieces. So this is a scrap of Fluid 100. So this is the watercolour paper. And I just had a bit of scrap anyway because cut off from here. Now I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab some stays on because I want a really dark black. So I'm just going to ink that up. I'm going to use a little foam pad because It is a photopolymer stamp, so it probably needs a little bit of extra cushion for the pushing. And we've got a pretty little sentiment there. Now, the reason I did that with Fluid 100 as well is because Fluid 100 is a bit of a weird one. It's not white and it's not vanilla. It's in between. So I kind of wanted it to match with that. Now I'm going to bring in my trimmer. So I've got all kinds of mess on. And I'm going to trim this down just a touch. I don't know if I need to trim any of that edge, but I might try. I love thin strips for sentiments. Let's see. Okay, then I'm just going to pull down and do the other side. That's our sentiment prepared. Now, what I might do is actually, I don't know if I did add a little bit of ink to the corner here, but because we are live, I might grab my heat tool. Now, the Stampin' Up heat tool actually has two settings. So you'll find this little lever here, and it's got a 1 and a 2. So if you want to dry something rather than melt heat embossing powder, you can chuck it on number 1, and it will give you a it doesn't get as hot, so it's not going to warp your paper as much. Now I'm just sort of going over the top of this just to give it a bit of a dry, because I can still feel that it's quite damp. Might just tip that upside down and do the back for a second. While I give that a dry, I just wanted to say tonight is the last night, so it ends at midnight tonight for our Designer Series paper sale. So there's 15% off quite a few of the Designer Series paper, and that ends tonight. So if you use the host code, if you're in Australia, and use my host code, which is this one on the screen here, and you can find my store on that link as well. You also get a handmade card from me and a free gift. So it's a great time to shop those papers while you can grab them on sale. Yes, so I know that I am honestly papered out. I've got so much paper, it's not funny. I'm a paper addict. I'm sure we all are, really. Okay, I've lost my comments. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I think this is feeling a lot better now, so I'll turn that off. Can you believe I've done no fun fold today and no heat embossing? So I had that out then, but there's actually no heat embossing on this card. Okay, so I want to adhere this to my layer of Pool Party. Now, because this is quite a heavy cardstock and we have added the water to it, I'm going to apply a bit of a heavier adhesive. Now, I will admit that I'm not that big on Stampin' Seal. It's probably a great adhesive. I just can never get the knack of using it, honestly. So I'm a tear and tape girl. I love my tear and tape if I need a strong adhesive. And I'm sure that roll is a lot easier to use, but I'm sure people are a lot better at it than I am. So I'm just going to add my tape and be very old school. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Where are you at the moment? Cheryl's on holiday overseas in, where you last? Paris? I feel like you were heading somewhere else, but I can't keep up. I'm living vicariously through you. Looks amazing. Someone else is away. Leonie Stewart. Any of you know Leonie? She's in Amsterdam. I think I saw her photos. It looks so pretty. I'm just here in rainy, cold Tasmania. We're going to be getting out the fire pit soon because there's going to be no power. It's going to be freezing. Okay, so I've put a lot of tear and tape on that because it is a heavy card. So I'm just going to line that up because once you stick tear and tape down, it does not like coming off. So you want to make sure you're getting that nice and straight. Okay, now what I like to do, especially when you've got something that's a little bit warped, actually use this stamping tool, give it a good flatten out with that, just so you can make sure you've got all that stuff nicely. Okay, so that's pretty good now. It is, I agree, Marnie, Tasmania is a lovely part of the world. I'm actually originally from Queensland, but
I've lived here most of my life. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually get my mister again. I'm going to mist that top corner because it's this top right corner. I forgot my left and right then. That's terrible. And what that is going to do is help break down those fibers again, because I'm going to curl this top corner. So if I wet it, it makes it easier to roll. Oh, you're coming in October. Lovely. You should head to if you come to the Northwest, they have the Tulip Festival in Wynyard or Table Cape. Very pretty. The dogs are going to have photos of the tulips. Okay, so I've given that a roll, and then I'm just going to flick it over. Oh, here comes the stormy weather again. And then what I'm going to do is grab a blending brush when I find my scrap paper again. When it's in October, I just can't remember the exact date. I'm going to grab a blueberry bushel, but I'm pretty sure the tulips are there for a lot of October. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of blueberry bushel in this top right corner. Okay, I love blueberry bushel. Yes, the Tulip Festival. They actually have a festival date where they've got a lot on, like as far as an event, but the tulips are there all of October. Okay, so then this piece is going to go onto this blueberry bushel card base. Yeah, sure, I can too. I can do that, Money. Yes, I don't know. I just never used to really, like, it just never got used that much, but now I'm addicted to blueberry bushel. It's such a beautiful colour. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a glue dot and just help to stick down that corner a little bit. Okay, oopsie. This is my broken take your picture. It's a bit rough on this one. Okay, then this can now get stuck down to that card base. If you didn't see my Facebook post, by the way, these are in stock at Craft Online. If you go onto my Facebook, you'll see the post. If you haven't seen these, they're really cool. They're great for getting out smaller bits of glue. You can see there I've got small lines. If you press it just a little bit, you get a tiny line. Press it a bit more, you get a bigger line of glue. And you can fill them up with your Tombow glue. Really cool. And they're quite expensive to get if you order them from America. So now they're back in stock in an Australian store, which is really cool. Okay, so I've stuck all that down. Now I want to grab some twine because, you know, every card needs twine. And, well, actually, this is linen thread. And I think, what glue do you use in it? I use Tombow glue, which is this one. Look at my dirty tube of glue. This one you get as Stampin' Up. And, yes, it does come with glue. It comes with a bottle. I know that I have one here. It'll come with a bottle like this full of Nouveau glue. And it will also come with this spare bottle. And the two tips, one of them has a larger tip, which this one is the larger tip. And the one that comes with it, like in it, has a smaller tip. So it depends on which size you want. You can fill it up with both. You can fill it with whatever glue you want, but I use the Stampin' Up glue. Okay, so this one is not out yet. This is the Natural Tones linen thread, and it will come out on September the 4th. I believe that they should have linen thread in every single colour because it's amazing. So I'm going to use the Night of Navy linen thread, and I'm going to do, I should try, I watched my Ashwari tie her double bows, and I'm like, how? It's different to how I do it. And I want to, I know she wraps it over a couple of times. But anyway, I want to learn different techniques for doing bows. Okay. That's all right, Marnie. I'm glad that you were able to get one because they were out of stock for ages. Okay, so I'm just doing a double bow. Now, I think I actually wanted a bigger double bow than that. Let's just see. Does anyone else like me and they struggle to do things while they're talking? You like this? Yes, me too, Narelle. That's why I love it, because it's nice and stiff. Okay. Let's see if that works a bit better. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm thinking too much.
You tried doing a bow. Yes, me too, Anita. I need to master it. It just looks so quick with the double bow. And if Megan's on here, she's going to laugh at me. Okay, I love the linen thread. If you run it between your thumb and your forefinger, you can kind of manipulate the ends a little bit too. It's really fun. I love linen thread. Okay, so then I've got that roughly sitting there because I'm going to pop my plain in here somewhere. Once I get them kind of sitting where I want them, I'm going to grab yes, Marnie, I have a bow maker. Megan's probably cackling herself. I just haven't mastered how to. Well, to be honest, I've been so used to doing like it with my fingers, which is kind of like the fork technique, and then, but I do need to learn. Okay. Rightio. Now this one's playing mischief on me. I'm like, yes, it sits however you want it. No, it doesn't. What I like to do though, if I've got an unruly end of linen thread, is I pop a little bit of glue, which is where this comes in handy because it only lets out a small amount. You can actually add a dab of glue and it will sit there. Okay, so now I need to grab my, you tried a bow maker and Marnie, I've got one from Chrissy Graham too. I just haven't worked out how to use it yet. Okay, so I'm going to pop my plain down here, adding some dimensionals. Okay, that should do it. And then I can stick this little doodad on there. Still see my bow. And then this one's going to go. I've got to stop chucking dimensional backings on my floor because Loki comes in and eats them. It's terrible. I don't know why you'd want to eat a dimensional backing. Okay, so then the other plane's going to go here, but I do want to leave room for my sentiment there. So don't bother going. She has, yes, I do. I do have two bow makers. Oh my goodness. Okay, then I'm gonna put this sentiment. So I want to put that first actually. I've taken to really liking getting these foam strips for things like this. So I'm gonna just cut a bit of foam strip. And then I've got one big dimensional basically. And we sell the foam adhesive strips. Or they're not strips actually, they're just foam adhesive sheets. Does Chrissy have videos showing how to use it? I didn't know that. Okay. Right, I'm going to stick, this one's not the small plane. So I had the small plane on the original. So now I've got to work out how I'm going to place the bigger plane. But I'm sure it's not that hard. Let's just chop these. I want to move that dimensional. Stick that one there. Oh, yes, sorry. You did send me a video. I thought you meant Chrissy has videos. I'm like, I've never seen one. Okay, I might stick that just in between the two and lift because I don't want to cover up the words. Okay, pretty. Now I need some Wink Castella, of course. Even if you're giving this card to a guy, it doesn't matter. They need Wink Castella. Now to embellish, I'm going to add some of these, which I don't use these often. They are the ombre matte decorative dots. They're very cute, and they had some ombre blues, so I thought that would go really well. Now I've lost my, oh no, there we go. Here's my take your pick tool. Okay, so I want to just grab a few different shades of blue, I think. This take your pick, I think, needs a new gummy, what do you call this? The putty end. Needs a new one of those. Okay, so I'm just going to stick some of these dots in here to embellish. I just can't decide. Oh goodness, there's lots of those there. Let's just stick Where will I stick that one? Down here? Down there? And then I'm on a mission not to hoard embellishments or paper now, so I don't really care how many I add to a card. I'm not really that fussy with adding too many or anything like that, because I'd rather them go on a card than not be used. So you might think I'm crazy. Some people are like, no, I'm only putting 3, and I put like 10. But I find that there's too many occasions where the catalogue ends and I've still got tons of stuff. So I'm not really that frugal anymore. Winkerfella. Yeah, that's great. Michelle, you're not really joining late at all. It's 7:02, which is when I'm supposed to be going live. I'm just going live early because of the crazy weather. I thought that the power may go off. In fact, we got warned that the power may go off. So I thought, no, I'm not missing my live videos. So I've come on early. Okay, so then I've got my sheet of basic white and my, what do you call this, pool party. And I'm just going to add a little bit, I just need to find my sheet. A little bit of blending, not on that one, on this one. So this should still have some blueberry bushel on here. So I'm going, listen to that rain, can you hear it? It's crazy. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit in that corner, and then I might add a touch of some pool party. Okay, oopsie. Just going to ink that up a little bit, take it off, and then blend that out. I'm keen to, when I finish, go and watch. I'm binge watching a series called The Last Ship on Stan. Has anyone seen that? Okay, so I've got that, and then I'm going to take my medium plane, which, as usual, I've dumped everything over my desk, so there's stuff everywhere. Okay, I want to get the medium-sized plane. You want some to cool you down. This is crazy, crazy rain, though. Like, I've seen locally they haven't tied down loose objects, and their back, what do you call it? Their back table outside's hit someone's window, and their window's smashed. Car windscreens are smashed. Okay, so I'm inking out my plane with some blueberry bushel, and I'm just going to stamp my plane. I love that colour. Yeah, I could not cope with 26 degrees. Thanks. You can keep that yourself. I don't know how I'm going to go in Queensland in March. Right, I'm just spritzing some blueberry bushel. Should I add Winkerfella? I think so. It might smudge the ink a little bit, but oh no, that's all right. Now, I don't think I added a sentiment on the inside. Look at this. I always do this, and then I get it on the card. Yeah, I'd always add a sentiment on the inside, but I don't think I will for this one. I'm just going to leave it because I don't really know what I'll use this card for. It's not really a masculine card only because it's just a note to lift you up, so it could be given to anyone. Okay. You'll have to let me know if you like me giving the measurements for what I'm making before we go live, because I've actually been organised and had my cards done, so I've been able to give measurements, but it means that you can craft along if you want to. It shouldn't be too hot in March. You've got to be kidding, right, Megan? If it's above 15, I'm really not okay. Okay, so I'll stick that into the card inside, and then, hello, Thor. Did you want to come in, buddy? Oh, were you missing out?
Last 20 minutes at me.
Oh, you're funny. Did you go get Dad to let you in? You're a big silly. Okay, so that one is, oh goodness, someone is, oh, do you want to craft too? Oh my goodness, look, he's Thor. Can you see him? He wants to be involved. He wants to stamp along, don't you? You want to stamp along? Oh. Okay, so I made a matching envelope because you just need to have a matching envelope. And so I'm going to grab one of these and some blueberry bushel ink. Oh, my ears are ringing. That does not feel nice. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of blueberry bushel. That was a lot of blueberry bushel, by the way, but that's okay. Okay, then I might just go in with some of the pool party. let's stamp a plain in there, and we will spritz some. Oh, everyone's saying hello to you. Okay, pretty. And then what I'm going to do is flip the card over, flip the envelope over so that the flap is just hanging over this scrap bit of paper. And then I'm going to grab my blueberry bushel again. I'm actually going to ink up this flat bit. And I'm being quite concentrated with the ink. I think Thor's a bit out of it. He doesn't like me shutting the door and crafting without him anyway, but he was sort of looking out the window before and being a bit funny about the weather, which is fair enough. It's a bit loud out there. Okay, so it's going to look like you're getting big circular patterns at first, but when it'll blend in a little bit anyway. So, and it's only to decorate the flap, so I don't mind. I really just want the concentrated ink. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Flip that around a little bit so it's closer to me, and then I'm just going to do this last corner. That, and then I just want to wipe a little bit of blueberry bushel happening here on the background. I'm going to grab the plain again, and I'm just going to stamp tone on tone. So this is blueberry bushel onto blueberry bushel. Now this, it might seem like a lot of effort for the envelope flap, but it's really worth it. I love doing my decorated envelopes. I just think once you spend all that time on the card, it's really cool to do a matching envelope. And I mean, if you don't have matching designer series paper, adding some blending and a stamped image is super easy. And then you can see that ink's still drying, but it turns out like this. And I've also added, by the looks of that, I just forgot, tuck it back in again and grab some marker and just do some spritzing on the back of that envelope, just to add a little bit of something extra. So very, very pretty. And then you've got that on the front. So I'm going to turn to a Smurf. I know. What have I got? A little bit. Not too bad. It could be worse. So that was the fun watercolor technique card. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually prefer the one I made tonight with you, because you can see it's a little bit more like a world map. And how rude is this? I've covered up where I live. Oh, you can just see it. If you look at it on an angle, you can see where I live underneath there. So I had a lot of fun getting messy and playing with watercolor. So this is a really fun technique to do with background stamps or anything that's rather large. So you can see here, that's quite a big stamp, but you can add either the ink pads, the Stampin' Wrap markers, you can apply it with a blending brush, all kinds of things. And just grab yourself one of these stamping spritzers or a light mist bottle, give it a mist, and it has a mind of its own. As you can see, the more water you add, the more of a sort of arty look you get. But I actually quite liked this one. It's a bit more toned down but vibrant. So that was really fun. And mix up the colours of the planes. So when I first started with blends, I thought that to colour an image, you only use the light and the dark of a stamping blend. But now I really mix it up. So with that one, I didn't even use the dark peach pie. I've just used the light. And then I brought in just the dark of the pumpkin pie. So all four of those colours is what made up the planes. So you can definitely mix and match it and change it to however you want. So it was a lot of fun to make that. Before I go, though, I do want to share, before the power goes out, I did have, thank you to everyone that joined the lounge. We still, even though our founding membership is often closed, we still welcome memberships at any time. So techniques like the ones I've showed you tonight with using blends or watercoloring, they're all planned for the lounge. We already have techniques there and lots more to come. So I've shared here, this is a little taster of some of the things we do in the lounge. There's amazing things coming. We've also got we're going to have a mini catalogue launch, and that will be available to join if you're not a member for $7.95 Australian, or you actually get it included in your membership for free. So there's definitely reasons to join, because you won't get this anywhere else. But yes, we've got an amazing community already. So I love the community. They're all talking and chatting with each other. So it's a lot of fun. I've been working on something pretty cool today. So there's some great stuff happening, and we would love to have you as a member. We love having new people. So you can find the website at www.thestampinglounge.com, and there's an easy process to sign up. I had a couple of questions from people about their username, password with their login. You do get an email directly from the software of our website, which has your username and password, and then you'll get a welcome email from us. So there's 2 emails to watch out for when you sign up. But yes, definitely exciting things happening over at the lounge. And the other thing, and I shared this on my page, is that we have a scrapbooking brochure. So Stampin' Up incorporated Close to My Heart Makers into the fold. I think it might have been like 3 or 4 months ago. And obviously it's quite a process it has been quite a process with the transition, but this is Stampin' Up's first Stampin' Up designed scrapbooking release that will be happening with the mini catalogue release on September the 4th. If you want to check out the brochure, head to my Facebook page. If you're watching there, and I do have a link to the scrapbooking brochure where you can see the products that will be released on September the 4th. This is only the beginning of many exciting things. There's plenty more to come with Stampin' Up having big plans with their scrapbooking range. And I'm pretty sure they plan to hold a 12 by 12 inch album and the flip flaps and things like that. There's plans for that. But this particular release has things like scrapbooking workshops where you get everything you need to make the pages all in one kit, which is really, really cool. What's this? Apparently there is a CTMH glue. I think maybe they carried some of theirs over. It might be in the store, which brings me to something else that you can actually purchase, things that were Close to My Heart branded that Stampin' Up was stocking. So they were originally only for previous Close to My Heart makers or customers, but now everyone can purchase them. So you can find those in my store. You'll be able to shop anything that is still in stock, and I believe that they are while stocks last. So if you head there, you can check it out. There's quite a few things like memory protectors. There's some albums. I know that I did get I don't know if I showed this on a video, but I did purchase one of the 8.5 by 11 albums. Quite a nice plush feel. This one's still in stock, I believe. You can see the spine. I don't know if I can really zoom out any. I can try. This is zoomy outy. I don't know that I can get it further away than that, but this is the 8.5 by 11 albums. This is not 12 by 12. It's sort of, it's the letter size cardstock. So I had this little page that I put in here. I just wanted to pop these safe somewhere. So that is one of the Close to My Heart branded albums, but I know that Stampin' Up plan to carry the 12 by 12. Yes, that's a lot of fun. I don't think I have anything else to say apart from the fact that spring is tomorrow. How crazy is that? I cannot believe that it will be spring tomorrow and we're in September. So don't forget to check out the DSP if there's anything there that you wanted, because that will end at midnight. Other than that, I will see you back next Saturday, I believe. It should be on time, regular time. I don't think that I have anything on because I haven't done my September calendar yet, but that should definitely be there. So thanks so much for watching tonight, guys, and I will see you next week. Have a lovely week, whatever you're up to, and I will catch you later. Thanks for joining in. Bye.